We love each other, desire each other, see each other, trust each other, are deeply in love with each other and deeply attracted to each other equally. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. I want to read a couple emails from two different clients. One of them, just to help you understand that it's really important that well, they're both with the same message. You do need to persist and not give up on what's in your heart and soul, your soul's desire, your mirror soul, your specific person, your true love. Two different scenarios, but I believe that it'll help all of you with this. All right. So I'm going to kind of talk about just a little bit of background and history with both of them. And one of them just spent time with her mirror soul. So I'm going to save that for the end. And the other one just has a message for you after 4 months of what appeared to be nothing in the 3D. Now her mirror soul is wanting to spend time with her. Okay. So I'm going to share both of these. It's just a reminder to persist, not to give up. Before I get into this further, if you do love my content, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps my channel grow, and I appreciate you for that. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest anything at all related to your specific person or anything in your life to transform and be able to experience what you truly want, email a short description to me from your email address to kim@coreunion.com. Go to my website, coreunion.com, book either a single session or a package, and my scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you with my next available session. So I've talked about both of these clients in previous videos. I apologize, but I right now I'm not able to remember which video the first one I'm going to talk about was. But in a nutshell, she came to me feeling that, like, is this a trauma bond or are we meant to be together? Because I can feel her in my skin. I can feel her. So we went through her old story. I gave her inner work to do and explained to her how important it is for her to be consistent, and gave her tools to handle both when she's triggered and when she wavers. At one point, she was frustrated because things appeared to get worse in the 3D with her mirror soul. Her mirror soul ended up blocking her. Then there was a period of time where there was nothing. And then her mirror soul came back into her reality and then told her, the reason why I left is because I don't feel the same. But based off of all of the things that my client shared with me, of the kinds of things that her mirror soul says and does, it is 100% clear, even if we were talking about 3D psychology or dating, that she is in love with her. So the progress, which this is all about, being thankful and grateful to when progress happens, is to, you kind of just notice it, feel into it. You're super thankful for it. And then you make sure that you stay in the end. So she had went out on a date with a man. This did not affect her energetically or her connection with her mirror soul, because it wasn't truly coming from a desire to be with someone else. It was just something to do. Remember, she was in the same situation where a lot of you are in presently, that you guys are all up in arms and in your feelings and in your fear, because there was an amount of time where she saw nothing. There was no evidence whatsoever, but she consisted. She persisted. I'm sorry, and she was consistent. So I'm going to read this, and then I'll read the other client's update with movement with her mirror soul, because she just spent time with him. So first, this client. I just wanted to give you an update. I told you about the guy, the one that I went on a date with who makes $1 million a year. And he was literally showering me with all of the things that I ever wanted to hear. And after that day, he came on really strong. And my whole nervous system was like, this is not it. And at that time, my mirror soul started surfacing. So I kept my energy in check and my state consistent. She just booked a trip to go to Los Angeles with me and also wants to go to the Caribbean in March with me. This is after 4 months of nothing. So, crickets. None of this is formulated into anything romantic yet. Remember to stay in the end of the relationship where you guys are committed together, married, happy, loving each other deeply, trusting each other fully, supporting each other, by each other's side, your lovers, best friends, all of that stuff. Okay, that's for you, my client, and for everyone else. So it is romantic in your end. Let me get back to this. I'm not focusing on that. I'm just focusing on keeping my state. But what I've noticed is the difference in my nervous system having her back in my life versus having this guy continue to text me and want something. It also showed me I would just block him. I wouldn't keep interacting with him, just block him. It also showed me, though, that the way he's been with me was probably the way I was with her. So I've really pulled back that chaser energy. And I think that's been a really big game changer. I'm a big believer that nothing is an accident. You have been so helpful, and I really appreciate it. You can summarize this for your viewers to tell them not to give up. It's so evident that it's all energy and your state, and I get to choose. So we'll see what happens. So, chaser energy, for a lot of you who consistently like do your inner work, but then you check your phone, check Instagram, check Facebook, constantly, consistently seek and wonder, that energy of not having, that's chaser energy. That is you consistently embodying the state of not having, of lack, of fear, of your old identity. So if you trusted in yourself and you were completely fulfilled and secure in the relationship with your person, and you see the highest and best, you see the two of you guys in your power, there would be no lack or chasing energy. Okay. So, and then the other thing I wanted to read from my other client, this was the video that this was. I remember this one. The thumbnail says from something to spicy text messages. And there's a heart on the thumbnail. I'll find that and I'll link it here in the video somewhere. The link, by the way, doesn't show up on a TV. It shows up on the computer, though, and on your smart device or whatever device you're, except for the TV, I should say. All right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So after I did that success story, things kind of went opposite with my client. And on our next session, she felt sad and she felt bad because I did the success story video, but I wasn't fazed by that because I know that this is all part of the process. The back and forth happens. It's normal. It's not a big deal. So I know that her and her mirror soul are going to be together, especially because I trust in her. I trust in what's in her heart and soul. And I know and I understand this entire journey. And also I trust in my own abilities to be able to guide her as well. So we had another session, and the last session that we had was that she then got past all of that upset that was within her, and her mirror soul started communicating again. Now, what had happened a couple months back after I did the video was they didn't end up seeing each other, but he did say, I will see you. He's in the service and he had to go away again. So he said, I will see you when I come back home for Christmas. So now we are in October. Back in either late August or September, she remained consistent, and then the communication increased again with her mirror soul. He then continued to communicate with her more and more and tell her that he wants to come back and see her. So it's a lot sooner than what was, what it was in the 3D before. They made plans to see each other. She was noting that there was this fear coming up. And when we talked further about it, as it turned out, it was around intimacy, because an ex was really very mean to her when they were intimate, and it made her feel very sad about herself. So that was something that she had manifested years ago, and it left her feeling insecure. So I just want to, before I read what she said with the movement with her person, I want to say something, and you can consider this part of the video also a public service announcement. Years ago, I talked about how I described like a sugary donut, which is beautiful and tasty on the outside, but there's nothing on the inside. And while you can manifest things just based off your looks and what's on the outside and the things that you have, that's not truly deeply loving yourself. So everybody is beautiful and perfect exactly how you are right now. Whether you realize that or not, it doesn't matter what's on the outside. When you truly turn within and love yourself consistently, unconditionally, and deeply, the same way that you love your person. If your person was to gain weight or something was to happen and they weren't as good looking or attractive as they are now to you, you would still love them. You have to love yourself with that same unconditional love. And what's really funny is so many of my clients, I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but I'm trying to make a point with this. So many of my clients, men or women, are so beautiful or handsome and really what would be considered extremely good looking by society standards, but they don't see it because of things that happen to them as children with whomever in their past growing up, like from 0 to 7. So they have this blinder on that they can't even see. And again, it doesn't matter whether they were physically attractive or not. It just so happens that they are. And my client here, who I'm talking about, from inside and out, she is incredibly beautiful. So where she is now, I'm going to read this because she just spent time with her person, but the old story came up again and surfaced that has nothing to do with her mirror soul. And now she sees it, which is great. But now she just has to let go of that story with that ex that she had manifested years ago. So this is what she wrote, and then I'll talk a little bit about letting go of that old story. So me and my mirror soul were supposed to meet up after a football game, which meant that the initial plan was to hang out all night and then spend the night together. But due to an incident with his brother, I only got to hang out with him from 12:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., which didn't leave much time for talking. But when we did, it was great just to have a normal conversation. But he was extremely tired throughout the whole thing. And when we got intimate, it wasn't how I imagined it to be since I started manifesting him with you. I wanted our first time seeing and being with each other to be electrifying, but all the insecurities from that guy that I told you about came in. And during the act, I never got any feedback on how he felt since he was so tired that my mind was imagining the worst. And I just wish that I knew where I stood. So this is what you decide. This is what you make the decision that you trust, okay? I know that my imagination is supposed to indicate this, but my ego keeps messing with me. And I hate that I keep associating my person with my ex. Well, this is what everybody does. So lots of love and support to you. It's good that you acknowledge and you are aware that you are projecting the story from your ex onto your person, and it's okay. So remember, go back to we love each other, desire each other, see each other, trust each other, are deeply in love with each other and deeply attracted to each other equally. And make sure that you are the same amount of desire that you feel for him, you know that he feels for you. So that's number one. So then you can detach this emotion because we know the root cause of it. So when you have these fears come up, all you do is detach it from your person. And now you're left with the raw emotion of not feeling basically the feeling that you described to me, which I won't go into your private details in this part with what happened with the other person. Give yourself love. Tell yourself how beautiful, how safe and chosen and a priority that you are, and just give yourself love. Take all of this after you've given yourself love and you cry because you've detached it from your person and you see him as knowing that he desires you and wants you equally. Then you take all of this and you surrender it to God, because when we're in these lower levels of consciousness, we are not realizing that we are the light creator, infinite intelligence source, God, having a human experience. We are the vessel, the channel, the conduit. We are the vehicle. Our bodies are the temple. Okay. So you need to, in that moment, remember so you're detaching the story and the emotion from your person. Keep your person in that safe, sacred space, safe haven, deep love, commitment, trust. Take care of the emotion, surrender, hand it off, and then give thanks. Thank you for showing me everything that I need to see and understand in the most loving way. Thank you for filling me up with all of your love, light, power, strength, intelligence, and guiding me. I trust you. And then if you have a memory surface of anything from your past, do revision on it. If no memory comes up, don't worry. You gave yourself love. You loved yourself. You got the emotions out. You expressed the pain. You didn't stuff and reject it. And then you surrendered and you kept your person in a safe space. Awesome. So you should be feeling lighter at this point, and go and spoil the you know what out of yourself and give yourself, pour into yourself, do something nice for yourself. And then in a little while, get back to your inner work of intimacy and love in the relationship, in the committed relationship with your person again. Okay. If a couple hours later, because you surrendered to infinite intelligence, God, creator, source, the light, you surrendered and you said, thank you for showing me everything in the most loving and safe way. I trust you with this. I know you've got me. Because you did that, if no memory came up for you to revise at that moment, it might come up later on. It might come up later that day. It might come up the next day. Your ex might surface. An ex might kind of reach back out to you. Or you just might have a dream or a memory. You revise whatever the wound was with that person. You can do it in a few different forms. You can imagine yelling at them and telling them how you can put yourself in the act again of what happened, and you can imagine speaking up and saying what you wish you had said back then, but you're back then in space and time. And then you imagine that they catch themselves and that they apologize to you. Okay. Or if somebody comes back in your energy in your 3D, that is also it's you can also note and go back energetically and do that form of revision if that resonates with you. Okay. And then you just get back in your end. So no matter what. All right. So this is for everybody. And I intend that this helped. So both of my clients and all of my clients that I've come on and I've shared success stories with, all of them at some point experienced the rejection or some story for whatever reason, whether it was age difference, long distance, religious differences, whatever the circumstance was, third parties of all different types. You have a library of case studies of proof for you, for inspiration. Go under the specific person playlist and just binge the videos. I share everything with you guys so you can get empowered by trusting the promise, the desire, because the desire is the promise. That is already the wish fulfilled. That is already what you get to have. So you trust in that. And then just like with my client said, even though we were, stop consistently trusting in the 3D and seeking for evidence in the 3D, because that is that's pushing the energy off. That's pushing your person away energetically because you're not trusting in what's in your heart and soul. So turn within, go within, start trusting what's inside your heart, your kingdom of heaven, more than you trust the 3D reality, because the 3D reality is always, always, always just showing you. Your 3D is always a mirror and it's a reflection. And even if you know in your heart and soul in this exact moment how deeply loved you are and you trust in it, you may not actually see the physical representation, personification in your reality yet. Period, point blank. But what is always instant is that as soon as you accept what's in your heart and soul, you can trust that everything that needs to happen is happening in this exact moment. So yes, manifestation is instant. But when we then step out of our power of trust and unconditional love, and we stop trusting God, universe, source, infinite intelligence, however you want to label that, we stop trusting ourselves, and then we're embodying the old identity, then in the same way, that's instant as well. Okay, so stay consistent, be persistent, trust, don't give up on your mirror soul, your specific person. In other words, don't give up on yourself and what's in your kingdom of heaven, your heart and your soul. Receive the message below. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. Bye. Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.